in this exercise, question 13.3.4. The lengths of 40 leaves of a plant are measured and correct to the nearest millimeter, and the data obtained is given in this table. We are supposed to find out the median length of leaves. So there are 3 leaves whose length is between 118 to 126 millimeters, 5 leaves between this particular range, and so on. We notice that the data, the class intervals, are not continuous. So first thing we have to do, and this is mentioned in the question as a hint, if you refer the textbook, there is a gap between successive class intervals. This interval finishes at 127, and this one starts at 126, and this one starts at 127. So first thing we have to do is like make these continuous, and we will do that. But before that, we will do cumulative frequency. We are supposed to find out the median length. Median is nothing but the middle value. So first step we will do is create another column and write as CF, which stands for cumulative frequency. The data will keep on accumulating, hence the name cumulative frequency. The first number you have to simply copy paste, no processing. 3 will be referred as 3 only. Then as the next data accumulates, this 5 will be joining this 3. So the next one will be 5 plus 3, that will be 8. The next interval has a frequency of 9 that will join this 8. 9 plus 18 will become 17. 12 plus 17 will become 29, 34, 38, and finally 40. The last value, 40, should match with the total number of observations given in the question. If not, you have made some mistakes. Go back and please check. As I said, the data has to be continuous. The class intervals have a gap which needs to be corrected. So we are going to make another column to fix that one. And the gap between the two successive intervals is 1 millimeter. So we are going to split that half and half. We are going to stretch the end limits of the class interval by half millimeter on each side. So this 118 will become 117.5, which is 118 minus 0.5, and this will become 126 plus 0.5, hence 126.5. So let's write that as continuous interval. That would be 117.5, half subtracted from here, and 126.5, half added on the other side. We will do the same thing for remaining class intervals. That would become 126.5 and 135.5, and so on. Now, if you notice that the class interval is continuous, because wherever the first interval finishes, the second interval immediately starts. And that is true for any of the class intervals. You can cross check. Let's say here it ends at 162.5, and this one immediately starts at 162.5 itself. So no data is lost, and the class intervals are now continuous. Now, median is nothing but middle value. Since we have 40 observations and pretend them to be arranged in ascending or descending order, so 40 divided by 2, that's 20. We are interested in the middle value, which is the 28th observation. So n is equal to 40. N by 2 will be half of that. That's 20. We are interested in where exactly this 20th observation is in this table. So we look at the cumulative frequency table, and we select the interval where cumulative frequency has just crossed, this n by 2 has just crossed that cumulative frequency. So this 20 has crossed this 17, and it is somewhere here. So we come to a conclusion that the median is in this interval. This n by 2, you have to keep that n by 2 in mind and find out the first um, set of records where this is barely crossed. So up to 17, this is not crossed. At 29, yes, we have crossed 20 for the first time. So this is the interval which will have that median value. Is it exactly in the middle of this thing? Not really. We have special formula for that. This is given in the textbook. Let's see the terminology. L stands for lower of the class interval. That would be the class interval which we have just selected. Uh, we know that the median is in this interval. So the class interval which we have selected is 145 to 153. After continuous interval, it is 145.5 to 153.3. Lower of that is 144.5. And by 2, we have just found out to be 20, half of total number of observations. Then we need frequency. Frequency is 12 of that particular class interval. Cumulative frequency is the cumulative frequency of the class immediately preceding, prior, before to that. So before 29, it was 17, and width of the class interval, h, is 9. So if you take any one of these, that would be just 9. Now, it's just a matter of substitution. L will be substituted as 144.5, N by 2 is 20, CF is 17, frequency is 12 times 9. This is 3 divided by 12, which will become 1/4. 1/4 of 9 is 2.25. That will be added to the lower of the class interval. And your final answer will come out to be 146.75. Since this is the length in millimeters, actually this should be millimeters. That's a mistake. So that would be your median value.